Hello and welcome to the video. I'm Jimmy the Mower and today we're going to be changing the gaiter bellow on a 3.5 tonne Ifor Williams trailer with a Knott Avonride coupling. So this is the common gaiter for the 3.5 tonne or 3,500 kg trailers. Over time they do perish and they start to split and they let the dirt and debris in and they let the grease leak out. So basically we need to change this on the front. Now you'd think it'd be straightforward, you take the old one off, you slot the new one on, but it's not as quite straightforward as that. We have to take the entire head off, the whole coupling that links up to your car, your truck, your van, etc. So I'm just going to quick tutorial and see how we do it. Now the tools we need are obviously, you order one of these, it comes as a kit, you get the bellow set there, you get 2 nuts as well, and you get a cable tie in there. It's always handy to have some extra cable ties and maybe a couple of spare nuts about anyway. Keep your old stuff because if you ever have any problem, you can always use it to get yourself out of a hole. Now, from what I can see, they're 22 mil. So as if by magic, down here, I've got my DeWalt gun. And who can pick up a gun without doing that, eh? So there you go, we've got the DeWalt gun. I've got a 22 socket on there. Unfortunately, I haven't got a 22 impact socket. So I've just got a standard socket on there, 6-sided. Hopefully it won't do too much damage and we'll do it up by hand. And I should as well down here somewhere have a socket. So there you go, we've got one for the nut side and one for the bolt side. And we've got 22 mil on there as well. And we should be able to undo those top and bottom and then get them back on. Just a quick word of warning about these. There is a certain way that they go on. That there, the bolt is a long bolt and that comes down to the bottom. So the longest bit always goes at the bottom. And with that being at the bottom, you'll notice in there, I don't know if you'll see, there's some small drain holes in there, along there. So if any water does get in, it can drain out across the bottom. You put it on upside down, you're going to trap all that inside and everything's going to rust up and not work. Right, I'll turn the camera around, we'll get a close-up of the head and I'll start to take it apart. So here we are at the head end then. We've got a cable tie that just holds on the gaiter there. You can see the splits that we've got in the middle and the grease that's coming out of these. So what we can do, we just pull this back. You can see there's plenty of grease in there. We've caught this in time, there's plenty of grease and there's not much like dirt and stuff in there, is there? So it's not bad. We need to undo this one here and this over here and this one on top and the one underneath. So I'll go for this one first. I think it should be easiest. I'll get the gun on this end, just make sure we're going the right way. And this on this end, just make sure again, yeah, they're both 22 mil. So if you haven't got one of these guns, you just need somebody with a spanner who's quite strong and they can hold the other side for you. But oh, there you go. So easy with these guns, so easy. Right. He says it'll just pop out with ease. It hasn't shifted. I'll just put that on there. We'll try the top one now. I'll have to lift the coupling up. So let me see. That'll be undoing it. That one was a bit tighter. That's off there. Nylock nuts on here. I think I might have put those ones on myself rather than use the others. Now we've got this loose. So all we need to do is gently ease these bolts out. That's the bolt there. Big bolts, they just got only threaded to there. So this is the business end really. That just goes through and it's a good tight fit just to make sure. You think it's a bit worrying really when you're towing something around at potentially 3.5 tons and it's only that and the other one cross through there that are holding it to the vehicle that's pulling it. So it's not you want to make sure that they're in good condition, don't you really? Right, and then we'll try and ease this one out now. Whether that will take any persuading or not, I don't know. Right. See if I can just There's no thread on these, but sometimes you can just turn them around a couple of times and they start to loosen up a bit, don't they? Yeah, oh, that one must be threaded. It's coming out, right. So remember that then when we're putting them back together, the one on the top was threaded. Oh, now we're getting into a tricky situation. I wonder if I'll run out of room before the bolt comes out. Goodness me, it must be threaded all the way through. Right, not long to go then. Oh yeah, look, we're lifting up now. We're lifting up. It's not bad. Be a lot easier if I could get the gun on, wouldn't it? Got to be somewhere near now. Goodness me. Goodness me. Right. It's threaded through the damper now. Oh, and there we go. Right, that's that out. You can see the thread all the way down. Took some doing, didn't he? Right, he goes in through the top there and goes down, and what it is, there's a damper in there and a little roll pin behind the damper. Now we'll be changing the damper in a different video. That's a whole other kettle of fish. It's a lot more difficult than this one's a bit overwhelming because now you've taken that off, you've got no trailer in effect because you've got no head to pull it with. So it's a bit daunting, but at least it's only a couple of nuts and bolts, and you've seen me do it, and now you'll know how to do it. I just got to nip off. I'll get my knife, and I'm going to cut this here, and we can cut this cable tie, and then we can get this sleeve off, and hopefully, oh, hold on. No, I'll have to cut it, and then we'll get the new one on. Okay then, so I've got a rag to try and keep my hands clean, and a little knife. You've only got to just break that. A blunt blade in here as usual. All these things we have, leave on mowers and in trailers and stuff, and they're all rusted up, aren't they? Right, that's the cable tie off. We'll put that will go in the bin later. That's the gaiter off. Now, if you look in there, you'll see there's grease and whatever all the way through. There's plenty of grease on here, and this is how your brakes work. When you put the brakes on in the vehicle, it pushes this, and this head goes in there, and that pushes the brakes on. There's a thing called a damper in there, and that pushes in and out. It's oil filled, and it pushes in and out, and you have to keep this lubricated at all times so that it can slide in and out easily. A lot of people don't really bother putting grease on these, and that's when it starts to cause them problems. It won't slide in and out properly. The brakes get a bit jerky, the brakes get half stuck on, half stuck off, whichever way you look at it, and it doesn't work. So just keep this lubricated all the time and make sure those bolts are tight. Now I'm going to grab the new gaiter, which is here. I'm going to try and cut the cable tie off this without cutting the new gaiter. There we go. That's that one done. Now, we know that the gaiter goes on this way round. It fits on. We've got a bit of stretching to do now, I think, haven't we? To get that over there. It's been that long since I've done one of these. I can't remember whether we warmed it up, put some extra lube on there or what, or whether it just went over. Oh, I think that's just gone over, hasn't it? Now, I'll take it off again. There's a lip, look. There's a lip there. Goes all the way around. More prominent, top and the bottom, but that's where we have to get this over that lip, and we'll cable tie it the other side to stop it coming off. All this is to do is to protect that in there. So it's no good changing the cover if you're not going to keep them greased up, is it? You know, the two go hand in hand. Right, that's on, and that's on all the way around, so that's nice and secure. There you go, that's pushed that right up there. Now we'll open the pack, and in there we've got these two nuts. Now I'm looking at mine and I've got nylox on there. I'm trying to think of the reasoning behind it. I prefer nylox. Obviously with these there's no washers in here, and maybe, I don't know, a bit of vibration, whatever. If you're towing long distances and stuff, you could probably work them a bit loose. So maybe I'll just put the nylox back on, I don't know, we'll see. I just got to cut this pack open. I bought a new pair of scissors in a pack like this. I needed a pair of scissors to open the pack. That's how it works. Right, we've got that open then. There's the two nuts. Put those down on there. We get the cable tie out. Now I've got some spare cable ties. We've always got spare cable ties in the truck. Put that round there, that can go in the bin. And we'll just put the cable tie round and we'll put that on. Now, we won't do it up very tight. We've got the ridge there. So if we just pull that in, and that won't move now. We've got it where it needs to be. Make sure it's over at the bottom. That's it, slide it all the way around. That's where it needs to be now, with the right side there. So we can do this business end, and once we've done that, we can tighten this up to keep it all in place. Now then, this is the trickiest bit of the whole operation. We need to get this back through there, back through the hole inside, and out the bottom. So we can put this on top, change this around. Oh, that's it. We're now going to start closing it down. So as we're closing it down, we need to pull this back. This is why I didn't cable tie this tight to start with. It's just on. I didn't do it tight because you're going to have to keep moving stuff out the way. Be nice, wouldn't it, if that gun had just fit on there, woof, straight in. Instead of another 5 minutes with this. That's it, we're getting there. It's not hard to turn this in. There's that much grease in there that the threads are really well protected. They're like new and it just goes through easily. But you can't get much of a turn on the ratchet, can you? You're not even doing a full half turn. It's only a third, if that. Right, I think that is about as far as that one goes in. Now, I'm looking at these, and they're going to have to sit sort of flat on there, and they've got no washer behind them, which always makes me worry a little bit because the vibration, we're moving these things around a lot and they vibrate. So if I put a nylock on there, a nylock will just lock itself on, and yeah, they're a pain to screw on and screw off because you can't just do them with your fingers until they're tight. You have to use a ratchet all the way, but I will feel safer. Like I said, we've got this here connecting our truck to that huge trailer that can potentially, you know, be 3.5 tons in weight. So if I know that these two bolts are put on with nylock nuts and they're going to be held fast, then I feel better about that. Right, now this one might be a little more difficult to get in, look, because it's not under the guard, it's outside. There's a little less grease on it, but we've got grease all over our hands, grease all over the head, grease all over everything. So we can put a little bit on there, can't we, and then slide it through. Now this will take some jigging about. Try and line it up. There you go, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Now you can get this one on. Now, there you go. I never tighten stuff up with guns. So what I'll do, I'll just put this on and I'll just spin it up with the gun. That's as tight as you need to go. Now I'll get another socket and we'll put it on there, well, ratchet and socket, and we'll put it on there and we'll tighten it up. But that's held in place, so that's good. And then again, a nylock nut will go on the bottom with that. And again, I'm not going to tighten it up all the way, I'm just going to spin it up. Need to make sure that we're keeping this rubber gaiter out of the way. We don't want to spend all our hard time changing it over only for us to split it. So that's that one done. As tight as we can. And then that's that one done as tight as we can. Now they're both turning because they just need to be tightened up, but I'm going to go and get another ratchet and I'll put that 22mm on there and I'll just nip them up as tight as I can. Hey, so we've got two ratchets then. There's a standard one that we've got with a 22mm straight on, and then I've had to put an adapter on there to just get this one to fit. And we'll put them on, and if I can get them the right way round, I should be able to tighten it up. No, I had them the right way around. It's strange working backwards to the camera. I'll be standing around there and I'd always be working from the side I'm tightening up. So there you go. Right, that then there is about as tight. That's about as tight as I can go. Now, there's got to be a recommended torque on here. If you're just changing it over, that's great. We need to torque these up really. I'll have to find the data. I'll put that data in the description. We don't do these very often. I'm just showing you now, obviously, how to take one off, how to put it back on and how it works. But there'll be a recommended torque setting for these and we need to torque them up to that setting to make sure that we're operating safely. So for now, I'm just going to tighten this one up as much as I can. You're never going to reach a torque setting with a couple of ratchets like this, especially when you've got such a thin one on here. You'll snap that before you reach the torque setting. Let's give it some. That's as much as I can do. That's as much as I can do. Right. So then that cover goes back over the top. And the little bit, look, fits snugly in there. We pull the bottom bit over there. Hopefully that's that, and now we can tighten our cable tie down. And that's tight all the way around, and if you want to be really professional and show off, you can always cut off the excess of the cable tie. So there you go, we've done that, and that's it. It's all done and working. All we've got left to do is put our grease gun on there and pump a little bit of grease back in underneath this cover. We've just got our standard grease gun, some standard grease in there. There's no need to use expensive moly grease or bearing grease on there. Just standard grease will do. And we'll just pump it through. Now, you can't listen for a crack or hear anything because there's no seal in there, is there? We know that. So, right, that's that one done. And for a bit of best practice, we've got one on the other side of this handle here. This is for the far end of the plunger. So we always try and fill them up evenly. And with this one, you can see it, because as you're pumping, you can see through this little window and you can see that that's full of grease in there. So that's it. And that's it. We've done it. So there we go then. That wasn't too taxing, was it? I just forgot about the threading on the bolt on the top. It takes a bit of time to get out, but You've seen me do it, and you'll know now yourself when you're doing it not to panic, and it's not going to slide out like the other one. There is a long thread on there, and just keep turning it. I know sometimes when I'm doing these things I think, oh my goodness, the thread must have gone, I'm turning, it's not getting anywhere, but no, it's all good. And there's the old gaiter. Look, we've still got the holes on the bottom. It's a bit warm, we've got a bit of stuff ripped off at the top there, and we've got some splits in the middle of it as well. So, you know, it's a job worth doing, and that's it. Look at the state of my hands. I'll have to get those cleaned up. Oh, if anybody can recommend any wipes, let me know, because I get greasy quite often, and we use old rags and stuff, and it's never quite the same, is it? You know, get home a bit of swarfeger. I tend to have clean hands about once a year, and that's when I go on holiday for a week and I get on the beach and all the sand rubs it off. So there you go. Right, well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you've got anything nice to say, just pop it in the comment section below. You can follow me across all the social media channels. You can even have a look at my website, jimmythemower.com. I really do appreciate you all. Give me the thumbs up, subscribe, whatever you can to help. It's all fantastic. Thank you very much again for watching. I'm Jimmy the Mower. I'll catch you on the next one.